Okay, we are talking about parenting. There's a new trend that's happening right now, public shaming. I'm sure you've heard about this. It's been in the news for several weeks now, actually the last week.
So we've seen the evidence
of this
these. Too.
Okay, so for example, reason why this Utah dad decided to put on these short shorts, wearing that shirt, best dad ever on a night out, was because his daughter was scantily clad, his teen daughter. So he thought, let's teach her a lesson, right? Okay, we've also seen this one came out a couple weeks ago. A kid that apparently picked a fight at school. He's 8 years old. His mom made him stand in front of the school with that sign saying, "I picked a fight at school because I'm a bully." That, of course, went viral. Now we have the latest one, and this one is 4 One Direction tickets. You know, the girls go crazy for One Direction.
Absolutely. I can't believe this one. This one's a tough one to swallow.
That's right. Mom decided she was going to sell the tickets on eBay. You can see some of the things. She says, "You can thank my daughter's self-righteous and lippy attitude. You may hate me now, but I don't care. It's my job to raise responsible adults."
It's tough.
And this is now going viral.
Yeah, let's bring in our expert advice, shall we? Want to introduce Karine Ewart from Today's Parent. Welcome to the Five.
Thank you.
Are you looking at those pictures like us and are kind of shocked with them?
Well, you know, social media is now giving parents a new tool, some would say. Others would say a weapon. You know, this is something that people are using to publicly shame their children, and shaming hurts. You know, labeling and shaming our children in this public forum is actually really detrimental. You know, we're supposed to be role models. We're supposed to be supporting and teaching our children how to behave. And some of the behavior we're seeing by some of these parents would not necessarily fall into those categories.
Would you do that,
right?
Tom?
Never.
Never?
Ever.
You know, I compare this to, you know, every parent is tempted when their 2-year-old child is having a temper tantrum to throw themselves on the floor and have a temper tantrum as well. But we know that's not going to teach them the proper behavior. And the same thing is sort of happening now. Not to mention, no teenager overnight becomes lippy or has a bad attitude, you know, so having these sort of grand gestures to try to solve a problem where the parents aren't actually addressing the problem at hand, of course.
Would this have a long-term effect? Let's say it's a teenager, they get this posted, it's going viral, then they get made fun of at school for it. What is the longer-term effect for this?
Imagine your most precious loved one publicly shaming you. Imagine what that would feel like, and that's what these parents are doing. So, it's got that immediate effect, and of course the long-term effect is they're not actually teaching their children how to behave appropriately. So the long-term effect is they're actually not learning how to be good citizens, which is really what we should be doing.
Now, this is really the 2013 version of scaring your kids to death, right? It used to be the belt hanging on the kitchen door,
wooden stick.
Or
right?
the wooden stick in the drawer or something. This is look at this. This is the scariest.
You have to remember, too, that we all know the experts say that the wooden spoon and the belt and those techniques didn't work either as far as teaching our children how to behave. So,
really?
So what?
I always knew it was there. I always knew it was there.
So, I mean, to summarize, then what do you do to teach your kids? This is not a quick fix.
No, the best thing to do is to give your kids options ahead of time. For example, if they're using language that you don't think is appropriate, if they're dressing in a way that is inappropriate to your standards, you teach them what your standards are, and then you say, if you're going to choose to continue to dress this way, here are the consequences. So they can make, right? They can, well, we don't want them to do that. But they can be a part of the conversation. They can be a part of the decision making. They will know what is ahead if they make that bad choice.
Right. Okay, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.